What is the #1 skill a CIA officer needs to have? Well, I'm former CIA officer Jason Hanson. I'm gonna tell you right now, and it's probably not what you think. I get asked all the time by people like, hey, Jason, you know, I wanna join the CIA. Like, what should I be doing? So, let's see. Is the #1 skill, let's see, we'll write this one. By the way, I'm using my kids' markers. I have a really good, thick, big red marker, and of course they took it and it vanished. So now I've got to use their markers. So let's see. Is the skill shooting? Well, obviously, I got amazing firearms training. It was awesome. I'm a pretty darn good shot. But guess what? The #1 skill a CIA officer needs is not shooting. Oh, my marker doesn't even work good to scratch it out. Okay, let's see. Is the #1 skill, wait for it, hand-to-hand self-defense. Well, just like shooting, I had amazing hand-to-hand self-defense training. I learned a ton, incredibly grateful. I thought I knew self-defense before I joined the agency, and then I really learned hand-to-hand combat. And guess what? It is not either. It's not our #1 skill. So we're gonna take our kids, child marker, magic marker, go through there. Is it, let's see, what else can we have? Ooh, this is a good one. This is a fun one. I love doing this. Absolute blast. So is the #1 skill evasive driving? Love it. Awesome. If you want the world's best evasive driving, go to spydriving.com. You'll thank me later. So even though it's awesome, even though it's important, because we spend a lot of time in vehicles, especially Americans spend a lot of time in vehicles, so you need to know evasive driving skills. But again, is it the #1 skill? No, it is not. So what is the #1 skill? You're gonna be like, Jason, that's really it. Trust me, I'm gonna get there. The #1 skill any intelligence officer needs is people skills on steroids. So what in the heck does that mean? And how can you develop these people skills if you want to be the agency or if you just want to succeed anywhere in life, because these skills are what everybody needs. So a good buddy of mine, he says spying is common sense on steroids. Well, also the #1 skill that intelligence officers need and everybody should have is people skills on steroids. So what does that mean? Well, it's being able to socialize with people. It's being able to be comfortable whether you're talking to a billionaire or where you're talking to a homeless guy. It's being able to be a chameleon and be able to go anywhere and anywhere and blend in. Obviously, as an intelligence officer, one day you may be at some fancy embassy dinner, aka James Bond. Not really, that doesn't happen often in real life. Or the next day you may be trying to find a terrorist or negotiate with a low-level terrorist to get to a high-level terrorist and recruit the low-level terrorist to get you what you need higher up the food chain. So you've got to be able to have people skills for a variety of people. All right, so how do you get these people skills on steroids? If you are looking to join the CIA or the intelligence community in general, or again, you just want to have more success in life, what can you do to get these people skills? All right, #1, you're not going to like my answer, by the way. Successful people who want to get ahead in life will like my answer, but most people will not. So #1, how do you get people skills that you need on steroids? And obviously the agency trains you in this stuff, but if you want to go in and have a head start and be, again, much more comfortable, one way, door-to-door sales. Yes, I said the words that nobody wants to hear. Go door-to-door selling knives. I think it's Cutco Knives. They sell door-to-door or selling anything. I've had to do door-to-door sales, and guess what? It is not fun, but it teaches you people skills. It gets you out of your comfort zone. Believe it or not, I'm an introvert.
What?
I am an extreme introvert. My wife is an extrovert. I'm not. I'm not a people person whatsoever, but guess what? I wanted to join the CIA. I wanted to be good at my job. I wanted to be successful in life overall, so I forced myself to do this stuff. So get a door-to-door sales job. You get over rejection very quickly, learn what works, you learn how to talk to all kinds of people, because when you're knocking on doors, doing door-to-door sales, well, obviously you're gonna talk to a variety of people. It's gonna be men, women, young, old, people from all different backgrounds. People have various jobs. So it teaches you a ton. And again, probably getting over the rejection part and gaining self-confidence is one of the most important things you're going to get out of that. Because guess what? I can tell you about the agency and the people who are in my class. Agency people have extreme self-confidence, almost delusional levels of self-confidence. And that's important because again, you got to have that going in the first place, because who thinks they can get a job at the CIA? Who thinks they're qualified? The odds are stacked against you because so many people apply for the agency, but you need to have extreme self-confidence that you can get that job. So door-to-door sales. What else can you do that will help you? Here's something else I did. I have no idea if they're around. It's been so many years since I've done this, but Toastmasters. I assume Toastmasters is still around. I did this. It helps you speak. It helps get you comfortable. We all know Jerry Seinfeld's joke of, people's #1 fear in life is speaking and yada, yada, yada. So if you go to Toastmasters or any other kind of speaking club, it forces you to speak, forces you to get out of your comfort zone, and you learn how to talk to people. You learn how to have confidence and not mumble and not stutter and speak with authority and speak with a loud voice, all that kind of stuff. So join a speaking organization. Remember, this is teaching you the number one skill to CIA, but also the number one skill for life overall is having good people skills, being able to communicate. So join Toastmasters. What else can you do? Well, obviously, read books by great salespeople. So who are some awesome salespeople? Well, read the classics. Read Zig Ziglar. Read Brian Tracy. Read Tom Hopkins. Another friend of mine, another agency friend of mine has a great saying too. She says, spies are the world's best salespeople. The only difference is, I almost got it wrong. Let me think. Here it goes. I'm going to start over. My friend has a saying. Spies are the world's best salespeople. The only difference is you sell vacuums, we sell treason. That's 100% true. So you've got to be a good salesperson. All of this helps to it. All of this develops your people skills. So if you read books, you will understand human nature. Oh, Robert Cialdini, his book Influence. Fantastic book. Read Cialdini's book. Fantastic book. A book is called Influence. Teaches you persuasion, teaches you influence skills. So do that if you want to develop spy level people skills. Okay, what else can you do? For all you single guys out there, you're gonna like this one. All right, pick up women. What do I mean by pick up women? Well, you gotta learn to be comfortable talking to members of the opposite sex. So if you can't go up to a woman and you can't talk to her without creeping her out or whatever, you're probably not gonna be a very good intelligence officer because you've got to be able to talk to all kinds of people, men, women, etc., and you can't come off as a creeper. So how do you learn how to pick up women? Well, go to a bar. It's reps. Anything you do in life is practice. If you want to become good at shooting, well, spend more time in the range. Spend more time doing dry fire practice. If you want to be good at talking to the opposite sex, attracting the opposite sex, you got to learn how to pick up women, right? You got to learn how to get their phone numbers. You got to learn how to say, hey, is it all right if I call you, text you, whatever? And getting in the reps is going to a place where women are and going and talking to them. So I realize, again, this is many men's worst nightmare, but one of the things that I had going for me is I can handle rejection. So, I would go out to a woman and sometimes they said yes and give me their phone number, and sometimes they said no and didn't. It is what it is. It's not like, rejection is not the world's worst thing, because I'd done many other things in life to build up my rejection muscle. And at the agency, things don't always go the way you want. You're going to get rejected a lot. There's going to be problems. You got to get used to that. So going back to picking up women, many years ago, and I think it's now a big thing on online where there are guys out there teaching like how to pick up chicks and all these courses on like how to attract women. There's all these dating gurus, right? Well, many, many years ago when I was single, and now I have a wife and 7 kids, a buddy of mine says, hey, I want you to come to this group of guys who are picking up women. It sounded like the world's biggest loser fest, to be honest with you. But I was like, all right, I'll go check it out, right? So I go to this group and it's at some bar/restaurant and they're all there to learn how to attract the opposite sex. And it is exactly what you thought it would be. It is guys who are probably still living in their parents' basement today. But anyways, they were like there was like some guy who was the leader and I was just hanging out in the back listening to this thing. And so, he starts telling all these things. Here's how you pick up women. I'm like, whatever. Anyways, I go and I'm in this restaurant/bar and there's guys with me and I just went up to a woman. I started talking to her and first you thought I would have like discovered plutonium the way they're like, oh my gosh, you talked to a woman. I was like, okay, I just went up and said hi, big deal. And then yes, I asked for a phone number and I got it. Now here's the thing. This is where Jason's ego came out. I'll fully admit it. What did I do as soon as I got that girl's phone number? I handed it to the guy and said, hey, you can have this one. Yes, I know, my ego. Can't help it. I don't have any more. I'm married with 7 kids. Remember, it's been a long time. So learn how to pick up women. It will help you have people skills. It helps you get out of your comfort zone. If you seriously can't pick up a girl, and I'm not saying it happens every time, obviously, unless you're a billionaire or movie star, but if one out of 10 women you talk to, you can't get their phone number, you need to do some work. So what else can you do to develop CIA level type people skills and all that? Well, let's add something else to this list. Let's add this. You're probably not gonna be able to read my horrible handwriting. Meetups. There are meetup groups all over this country, in every city in this country. There's a group for everything. There's like the hiking meetup group, the camping meetup group, the sewing meetup group, the whatever meetup group. So go to these meetup groups, get out of your comfort zone, be used to talking to people. Do that. If you go to these meetup groups, it's going to help you become social. It's going to help you have to talk to a variety of people because you never know who's going to be in these groups. Also, do this every single day. And again, this is if you're really motivated and you want to be an intelligence officer and you want to have awesome people skills. Talk to random strangers every single day. So what might that mean? You're going to a store and you just see some stranger like, hey, I'm thinking of buying this shirt. What do you think of this shirt? It can be anything. You're not actually trying to accomplish anything except forcing yourself to talk to random strangers. You can be walking down the street and say, hey, that is an awesome backpack. I really like that. Where did you get that backpack? Make it your mission. Just one time a day, you're going to talk to a completely random stranger that you would not usually strike up a conversation with. Human beings these days, because we stare at computers way too long, because all we do is tech, we are losing our social skills. If you want to be a spy, if you want to be successful overall, you've got to have social skills. That is common sense on steroids. And by making it your mission, just say every single day, it's like exercising. Every day I'm gonna exercise, even if only for 5 minutes. Every single day I'm gonna talk to some random stranger. In my company, we do some high level training. And we do, I'm trying to think, I can't give a lot of it away here, but let's just say in the movie Spy Games, very old movie with Robert Redford and with Brad Pitt. There's a scene there where Robert Redford's training Brad Pitt, and they're walking down some street, and he looks up at a balcony at an apartment. He says, "You have 5 minutes to be on that balcony." And he's like, "What?" And then, he goes, he knocks on the door, he talks his way in, and you see him, I think he's having a cup of tea or coffee on the balcony with this woman, right? Well, those are the type of exercises you may or may not have to do if you are being trained as an intelligence officer. So force yourself to get out of your comfort zone. All right, as I wrap this up, most important thing is be yourself, be authentic. So don't, when you're studying Zig Ziglar or you're studying somebody, you cannot mirror them 100% because it doesn't come off authentic. So yes, you want to do door-to-door sales. Yes, you want to do Toastmasters. You want to read the book. You want to pick up women if you're single. You want to go to meetup groups. You want to talk to random strangers, but be yourself. Because if it doesn't come off as natural, it's not going to work, and it's not going to work in the intelligence world too. So I imagine you were thinking hopefully it was going to be like shooting or driving or some ninja super skill, but it's people skills on steroids. I just gave you what to do, and if you want it badly enough, you do it. All right, I'm former CIA officer Jason Hanson. If there's anything I can do for you, give me a comment, reply, tell me you hate me, tell you love me. Doesn't matter to me either way, but God bless you.